Okay, so the next weekend, Jason, you talked about this Star Trek Into Darkness. I'm a big Star Trek fan.
Sure.
I think I've talked about this on the show before, but I'm a big Star Trek fan. I've become a bigger Star Trek fan in the past 5-6 years than I have in the past. I'm more of a Next Generation era guy, but I'm also the film era guy. Like the original series, I have a hard time sort of digging into that, but the Star Trek original series films, Star Trek Next Generation and on, huge fan of this. So I am looking forward to this. I know a lot of the old school Star Trek fans are kind of annoyed with the way J.J. Abrams is taking the franchise, but I'm cool with it. I think it's fun. I think it's interesting. I'm not going to nitpick.
Sure.
I'm excited.
I am too. And mainly because I hadn't really seen any of the trailer stuff until I actually went to the movies more recently. Since we went to South by Southwest, I really have been disconnected from watching a lot of movies. Especially mainstream movies, and so my sort of thrust back into it, this has played in front of 2 of the 3 movies that I've seen of the blockbuster nature. So I've seen the same trailer twice, and I'm just like, I want to see this movie. It's like I'm looking forward to seeing what happens here. I did watch the sort of TV version of the movie with my wife because my TiVo randomly was like, you might enjoy this. And I was like, I did enjoy this, but let's see what it does with commercials. And she liked it, so it's like, now that I'm married, it's just sort of like I have to kind of tweak my entertainment slightly to, will she enjoy this? And, she actually said the other day, she was like, I am actually enjoying more of these comic book type movies, which I would apply this to it. I know it's not, but so it's like, it's nice that I'm just like, all right, cool. Like there's a good chance I get to see this movie without like going out of my way to cater towards, that. So
it's not
will certain people be certain characters, blah, blah, blah. Let's just hope for a good movie.
It is not the thoughtful, cerebral Gene Roddenberry Star Trek.
Sure.
But without J.J. Abrams, the franchise would likely just be dead. And I mean, I hear a lot of people say, you know what, I saw that Star Trek movie a couple years ago, and I started watching like Next Generation because of that. Like I went back to see where all this came from. And I think that's good for the franchise.
It's good, yeah.
I'm not a Trekkie, I must admit, but certain installments in the film series are among my favorite sci-fi movies, just period. But I didn't grow up with either of the any of the Star Trek television shows.
Sure.
I've watched a number of the episodes just kind of in reruns, and I've liked them. And I enjoy Star Trek. So this is actually one that I am highly anticipating this summer. And I actually thought that the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movie was really, really enjoyable. And even though it plays it more like a kind of traditional sci-fi action adventure movie instead of the cerebral, philosophical Star Trek from the 60s.
No one's quoting Shakespeare in the James.
No. Or Moby Dick or anything.
Yeah.
But it definitely kind of touches on some of the intellectual content of the Star Trek that we know and love. And it kind of touches on the fringes of that in ways that I think still respect the source material even while kind of doing this millennial Star Trek.
Yeah.
What was so nice about the first movie, it was just kind of like everyone's going to camp, like space camp.
Right.
And it's just like, what kind of damage can we do? Well, now that everyone's sort of been through, space camp training, I think I feel like he was just like, okay, we need to make this more serious. We need to make this like, there needs to be some collateral damage. There needs to be some loss here. And it's, from what I've seen and what I know, it's going to be there.
And the way it played with time, I thought was really interesting as a time travel movie, how it's both a kind of prequel and a sequel.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't just the kind of Mulligan approach where they're like, oh, there's been a bunch of bad Star Trek movies, let's just start over. There is continuity. And I think the performers are really good. Yeah. I think the guy that plays young Kirk really kind of has
I think if even if you hate everything
Chris
else
Pine.
About the film, you've got to admit the cast is really good.
Yeah.
They did a really good job of sort of matching up current actors to the old cast.
I was real worried about Chris Pine with the first one, and then I saw it, and then I watched it again. I'm like, no, he nails it. Yeah, he's good. He's good. So,
A Place for Film is recorded at WFIU Studios in Bloomington, Indiana.